guys, welcome back. Today I am just doing like an updated everyday makeup routine for spring. I've been getting a ton of comments and questions on my recent videos just asking about my makeup and everything I'm wearing, and it has been seriously forever since I've done one of these videos. I've been using some new products and things like that, so I figured why not sit down and film a little tutorial. I know spring literally just started, but I already know I'm going to be wearing this makeup for like months and months, and it's definitely got more of a spring kind of vibe to it. It's very glowy and bronze and actually quite dewy for my personal preference and makeup style. But yeah, everything I use in this video will be linked in the description bar down below as always, but let's just go ahead and jump into it. So I'm going to start off by priming with a little bit of this Estee Lauder The Mattifier Primer. This is new and I've been using it for the past few weeks, and I have to say I'm really liking it. It's probably my favorite mattifying primer I have tried so far. It's got like a slight kind of tacky finish to it, and it doesn't like completely keep me from getting oily. I don't think anything ever will, but it stops the kind of like separation and makeup melting that happens when you have oily skin, which is pretty much the most I can ask for from a mattifying primer. I've tried like the Becca primer and the Makeup Forever, and I just don't like any of them that much. But so far this one has been a winner. I've been pleasantly surprised with it. So next I'm going to move on to foundation. As I've mentioned recently, I've been using the Dior Air Flash. I have shade 301. My tan has faded so rapidly. I am still a little bit more tan than I look on camera. I know when I apply this though, it's definitely going to look darker than my neck and chest. I'm still strongly considering purchasing a lighter shade in this, and I'm going to be applying this with the Delium Tools 957 brush. It is a flat top, but it's not quite as dense as like the Sigma brushes. It's a little bit more like fluffy. So I just go ahead and spray that right on, and then I just lightly start buffing this in. If you missed it, I'll link my first impressions on this foundation down below, but I did mention this again in my February favorites. I just started using it again because it's like the only foundation that matched me when I got home from vacation. I just sprayed a little bit more on, but I've really been loving it. Like, oh, I just wish it wasn't so expensive. It just really makes your skin look so smooth and poreless. It really is a fantastic foundation though if you have issues with texture. I think it's definitely worth the splurge. I'm gonna do just a little bit more to get that kind of residual redness. It's definitely more of a medium leaning to full coverage, not like heavy duty full coverage, because I do still see a little bit of redness peeking through, and you can still see like freckles through it. But I am really happy with the look it gives my skin because it's just very natural. Once again, it looks like my skin. See, like a week ago this matched me perfectly, and now already it's like so much darker. I'm so sad. Goodbye vacation glow. For concealer, I'm using the L'Oreal True Match concealer in just the shade Fair Light. So I'm just gonna dot that under my eyes, and then I'm actually going to be blending it out with one of the L'Oreal sponges. I did get my hands on this little blue one. This one's so much better for the eye area because it's got this nice little flat edge and like the little tip on it. I do greatly prefer it to the pink one for the eye area because I complained in a couple videos that that one isn't the best for the precision areas, but this blue one is perfect. I'm gonna do a little bit down my nose too, just to conceal that extra redness. If you guys still haven't tried these new L'Oreal sponges, you definitely need to. They are so amazing. I'm still using the same product to set my eye area. I use my Sigma Flat Top Kabuki. This is the F80. And then I use my NYX Contour Kit. This thing is filthy. And I mix together the kind of like pink and yellow shades and just press this on. I mentioned this forever ago, but I don't know why this flat top brush just applies these powders so nicely. And I totally discovered this combination by accident, but I really like it. It really makes the eye area look smooth and flawless. And I do pick up some extra powder just on kind of like the edge of the brush, and I get like right underneath my eye where I do have little fine lines. For eye primer, I've been using the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. This is just like a deluxe size sample. I've had the full size of this in the past though, and I do really like it. I am going to quickly do my brows off camera just to save time. I just don't like doing my brows on camera. I find that I'm so focused on like being in focus and like staying in the frame and being visible and everything that they just don't turn out the way I want them to. I like getting my mirror like right close up to my face when I do my brows, and that's just hard to do while I'm also filming. So I'm gonna do those quickly. I've just been using the Anastasia Brow Wiz in Auburn, and then Gimme Brow in shade number 3, and then I've still been using my NYX concealer in a jar just to sculpt them. So I'm gonna do that quickly, and I will be right back with eyebrows. So that is what my brows are looking like. If you guys really want to see like an updated brow routine, I can try my best to do that for you. Just let me know by giving this video a thumbs up and letting me know in the comments. I don't know, whenever I try and do my brows on camera, I feel like it just doesn't turn out as good. Same thing with my liner. It's just like there's too much pressure. But I'm going to take my RCMA No Color Powder. I use this to set my lids and my brow area. And then I'm also going to use this to set the rest of my face too. I just do this after I do my brows because I do use the concealer around them. People always ask me how I use the RCMA No Color Powder. I literally just like tap some onto the brush and then disperse it on my face. Next, I'm going to do some bronzer. I'm just using the Tarte Park et Princess. This is the matte version, but I also do really enjoy the shimmer version too, and I'm just using my Real Techniques multitask brush. I also do have like a very in-depth contouring routine for like acne and textured skin, so that'll be linked down below. I feel like when I show this in a video, it's always so repetitive because like I have my kind of steps that I do in my routine that works for me, and I don't really stray from that. I do bring my bronzer down onto my cheeks where I would contour and add blush because I feel like when everything is said and done, it just blends out better. So I really do bring it quite a bit onto my cheeks and make sure to apply that to my temples as well, and then up along like the sides of my forehead. And I am going to go in and like kind of like blend everything out and soften the edges afterwards, but I like this bronzer. It's really light and just got a nice kind of like neutral undertone. Then I'm going in with bronzer number 2. This is the Too Faced Sweet Tea bronzer, which is more of like a shimmery bronzer, and I take this on my Luxie 520. This is a really great brush because it is like a little bit more flimsy. It's good for any products you just want kind of like a light dusting of on your face. So I just swirl both sides together, and then I dust this all over the center of my face. I'll even do it on my eyes and like underneath my eyes. I've mentioned this a few times recently, but it really just helps kind of enhance that natural tan kind of look. Because if you go in all over your face with a matte bronzer, it ends up looking kind of like muddy and patchy in my opinion, and this just looks a lot more natural and a lot more radiant. Then I'm going to be taking my favorite Anastasia Fawn powder. Someone recently in a comment told me to get one of these little Makeup Forever eyeshadow compacts for this, and thank you to whoever suggested that. It would not let me respond to your comment for some reason, but best tip ever. I don't know why I never thought of this. So I just take that on the hollows of my cheeks, just coming down from my ear. I do have a breakout here. It's like my first real breakout since finishing Accutane, and it will not go away. I just contour like really fast, moving in an upwards motion just so everything blends out. And I kind of bring that up in an angle on my temple too, just so once again everything blends together smoothly. I do a little bit along my hairline and just kind of like the edges of my forehead, and then a little bit under my bottom lip and then my chin too. So now I'm just going to take my big fluffy powder brush with no product on it, and I just start kind of blending everything out from the center of my face outwards, just once again to eliminate any harsh edges. For my cheeks, I'm going to be using the Becca Luminous blush in Snapdragon. I am obsessed with these blushes, and I'm just tapping this on to my cheeks and then just blending it out a little bit. These are a lot harder than the regular Becca blushes. Like, you don't get any kick up really from them, but they're still very pigmented. But I think the formula is just ever so slightly better. And the shade looks very intense at first, but when I go over it with my highlight and everything, it'll soften it a little bit. And I'm actually just gonna blend out the edges of the blush as well. I'm actually gonna zoom you guys in and move into eyes, and then we're going to do highlight second to last. So for my eyes, I'm actually going to be using this new Tarte Don't Quit Your Daydream palette. I have been using this non-stop. I absolutely love it. And I'm not gonna lie, the look I'm going to do today, I actually kind of stole from a Tarte video that I saw on Facebook, like on their page. They did like a quick little video tutorial using this palette, and I was like, hey, that look looks really nice. So I tried it out for myself, and I've just been wearing it non-stop. So I'll link that down below. I don't want to take credit for this or anything, but I'm going to start off by mixing the shades Rock On and Visionary and just kind of blending this all over my lid as a base. Then I'm going to take the shade Lovey and use this as a transition. And my eyeshadow look definitely does vary, but I have been doing this look a lot lately. Then I'm going to take this shade here, which is called Strive, which is kind of like a peachy gold, and I'm going to add this to my crease as well. I usually only ever strictly use matte shades in the crease, so this is a little bit different for me, but I really like how it looks. And then I'm taking Runway on a nice precise crease brush and just building that up in the very outer edge of my crease as well. And also just a little bit on the outer corner. I love this palette. These shadows are just absolutely beautiful. They really like hold up to Tarte's quality. Sometimes their eyeshadows in like their holiday palettes and stuff like that are a little bit dry, but these are really nice. I believe this palette is an Ulta and Tarte.com exclusive, so I'll have it linked down below with everything, of course, but definitely check it out if you like this color selection. Then I'm just going to take the big fluffy brush I use for my transition with no additional product and just blend everything together. Then I'm going to take Boss Lady, which is just kind of your average true gold, and pat this all over the lid as well. Like, you can see that lid shade is really nice and pigmented. It applies so nicely. And then, like I always do, I'm just gonna take my 3 crease brushes again and just kind of go back in and do some more blending and kind of redefine all those shades. I know this seems kind of unnecessary, but it takes like 2 seconds, and it really just ensures that the final look is nice and seamless. And also so we don't have any harsh lines from that gold lid color. And then I'm just going to take the corresponding shades that I used on my crease, so Lovey, Strive, and Runway, and I'm just going to smudge these onto my lower lash line with a pencil brush. And then I use the brush that I use to set my lids and just kind of like use the tapered end of that to blend out and soften up that lower lash line. And then I'm going to take Extra Creamy from my PB&J palette and just use this to highlight my brow bone and kind of clean up the edges, because I don't like when my crease shades and like transition come too far up on my brow bone. So I'm actually applying my face highlight before I do mascara, which I'll explain in a second, but I'm going to be using Laura Geller Gilded Honey on my favorite Luxie 522. I do have a discount code for Luxie, just a reminder for those of you who may not know. So I just pick that up and apply it to all the usual highlighting areas. You can see it actually pops pretty well on my skin tone. I mean, I am more tan than usual right now. I like it because it just gives like a really nice subtle golden glow, and I still have a freaking scab here from being sunburned. It's driving me crazy, and the highlight does cling onto that, but I really don't care. Bring that up around the brow and temple area. I do really like to highlight in here too. I know it's kind of a faux pas in the makeup rules, but I like how it looks. I always have. So I'm actually going to be doing setting spray before mascara because my lashes are so short. I like to do setting spray beforehand so my lashes don't droop down at all from the moisture. But I'm going to be using the Maybelline Master Fix by Face Studio setting spray. This is really weird, but I always take whatever I'm wearing, if it's like a v-neck or whatever, and like cover my neck when I spray it on. So you will see I really drench myself in this stuff. I do really soak my face in it, but I find that really just helps take away any kind of powdery finish and just makes my skin nice and glowy looking once it dries. And what I'll do sometimes is I'll take my powder brush and just kind of like dab the areas where my highlight is. I find this just helps everything kind of melt into my skin, just when my skin is still ever so slightly damp, and it also does speed up the drying process. I'm gonna quickly go ahead and curl my lashes and then apply one coat of the Tarte Lifted Mascara. I like this because it's actually black brown, so it's not as harsh. I really like it for every day. Forget to do this, but I'm also going to take a little bit of Gilded Honey and pop this on my inner corner as a highlight. So before I zoom out and do lips, that is a close-up on the finished eye look, just because we know nothing is ever complete without mascara. And finally for lips, I'm going to be using the Milk Makeup lip color in the shade Cream, or CREAM. I just recently did a video trying out some Milk products, which should be up by the time you guys are watching this, so I'll link that down below if it is. I love this formula. It's matte, but it's not drying at all. It's a really nice creamy matte. And I like it, even though it's kind of got like the feel of like a chubby lip crayon, it's still got the shape of a lipstick bullet. So it's really easy to get a precise application. I say right before I mess up. So yeah, that is the completed makeup look. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and enjoyed seeing all of the products and everything that I use for my current everyday makeup look. I think this makeup look definitely screams I am ready for warmer weather. It's not like a wintry makeup look at all, but give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Once again, everything I used will be linked in the description bar. Go follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. I am at SARI Rihanna on all three, and hit that subscribe button down below if you are new here, but I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye guys!